We all dream of retiring early until this letter shows up.
Yeah, that one from your insurance company that suddenly makes you question everything. How much more expense can you even handle?
Open enrollment hits and boom, premiums jump, coverage changes, and you get dropped completely.
Even for people doing everything right, saving, investing, planning, it can feel like the ground just moved.
And for those of us in our 50s, not old enough for Medicare, but tired of the grind, this is the gap nobody prepares you for.
But what if you could bridge that gap and keep your peace of mind?
Today we'll walk you through our healthcare game plan.
And that takes us from our 50s to when Medicare kicks in at age 65. And we will compare what the costs here in the US look like and what is out there around the world, in places that you might never expect.
Healthcare is the #1 reason people delay retirement.
And we get it. The unknowns around healthcare coverage, subsidies, and costs, it's enough to make you think, well, I guess I'll keep working maybe just one more year.
But what if one more year becomes 5 or 10? That's why we decided to run the numbers differently, because waiting is not our plan.
We actually call ours the bridge plan. It is how we cover the years before Medicare kicks in, without having to panic or drain our savings.
And we'll walk through how it works in a minute. But first, let's look at what's really happening out there.
All around us, Americans are facing some brutal choices: pay higher premiums, downgrade their coverage, or go uninsured altogether.
It's especially tough for people in their 50s who lose a job and have trouble finding another one quickly. Many are being forced into early retirement much earlier than they expected.
And that is when people start asking the big question: is there any other way to make this less scary?
That's exactly where we started. Not looking for miracles, just options. Real ways to buy time, flexibility, and peace.
And what we found out completely changed what we think about retirement.
Our bridge plan is built around 3 areas. The first area is cash flow. This covers short-term living and healthcare costs. The second area is growth, investments we don't touch. The third area is flexibility. This covers funds that we can pivot to if things change.
It's not about predicting the future. It's about buying flexibility. And that is what led us to look globally at real healthcare costs out there.
And the difference we found? Well, it was so big, it made us realize something important. Healthcare costs can decide how soon you can retire, or how long you need to wait.
And here is where things do get interesting, because once you see what the healthcare costs are out there in other countries, it really changes everything.
Let's start with US baseline. For many couples in their 50s, Affordable Care Act plans, they average $15,000 to even $2,000 a month.
And that is about $20,000 a year before you even see a doctor.
Now compare that with private insurance abroad.
So Portugal, around 40 to 150 euros a month. Spain, 50 to 200 euros per month. And Greece, 30 to 210 euros a month.
That's roughly 70 to 80% less than US private insurance. And most hospitals have excellent English-speaking staff.
In Mexico, private plans run to $100 to $300 a month. And a routine doctor's visit is often $25 to $50 a month.
And that's less than a date night back home. And you're simply paying cash, no fighting insurance claims.
And in Southeast Asia, the numbers get even better. In Thailand, inpatient plans around $1,500 to $3,000 a year. In Malaysia, $40 per month for private coverage. In Vietnam, consultations are as low as $20 to $60.
And we're talking top-rated, international-rated hospitals. And again, no surprise bills.
And when you do line it all up, it's clear. Healthcare does not have to be what stops you from retiring early.
It might actually be what lets you retire sooner.
Well, here's the thing. Not everyone wants to move abroad full-time. But just knowing you could changes everything.
And it's not about packing up your life tomorrow. It's about buying back your options.
Exactly, because once you figure out that the private plan in Portugal or Thailand costs you less than a weekend in Seattle, both the math and your stress start to shift.
And that's where our bridge plan comes in. It's how we buy our time before Medicare without hitting panic mode.
And we do test it every few months. We adjust our numbers, recheck healthcare estimates, and update our cash flow tab in our Freedom Number spreadsheet.
Every bit of margin, well, it covers another month of freedom time.
And that's the point, folks. Even the small changes can now bring peace. And comment below if you want us to cover our bridge plan by country. We'll pull real healthcare data for each of them and the housing data side by side.
So if open enrollment season feels heavy right now, Remember, this is not about fear. It's about strategy.
You don't have to solve healthcare overnight. Just start with these 2 steps. First, find your freedom number, how much you truly need for peace. And secondly, build your bridge plan, a simple roadmap for those years that carry you until Medicare kicks in.
And that's what gave us more control and the peace that we could pull the cord sooner if our life situation changes.
And that peace of mind, you can't put a price on it.
If this video gave you some clarity, comment, "I need financial peace." That tells us to keep building out these video series.
And watch more in depth our videos on healthcare in the US and abroad, how we found our own freedom number, and our step-by-step bridge financing.
Because every plan starts with a little hope, some research, and a calculator.
And maybe a spreadsheet or two. If you found value in this video, please hit a like, leave a comment, and share with others.
Early retirement is not about escaping work. It's about designing a life that fits you. For us, our early retirement design fits our dream to travel more, our most energetic go-go years, and make an impact on the communities we live in.
Let us know in the comments, what would you like the youth of your senior years to be filled with? You can start designing your own dream at the location that fits you best. Feel free to use our example on how you can reach early retirement freedom number. Your freedom day might be way earlier than you think.
And subscribe to join us. Our weekly videos, we share mindset shift, cost comparisons, our own early retirement financial math, and options and practical tools every week.
Next, watch our videos on what we found out during our exploratory trip, cost of living abroad comparisons, solutions to the rising cost of healthcare in the US, and the retirement mindset shift that changed how we see our own life's purpose, our time, and freedom. We are Ella
And Kevin.
and this is Smart Retirement Abroad.